I am a God. Here's what the text speaks about, the king of Tyre saying. And I really, I thought that the time of people saying, I am a God is over. I didn't think people said that anymore. And then just last week, somebody was telling me that actually the president of China was basically saying that, and that he wants everybody to worship him. It's just like, what? That's actually real? Appears so. The text. Excuse me if I ramble a little bit. Yesterday, the first readings we looked at Ezekiel. This again is Ezekiel, and if you remember in that text, the Lord said to Ezekiel that he would lose the delight of his eyes. And he told him that in the morning. He told the people that this is what was going to happen. And that evening he lost his wife. She died. And if you remember, I mentioned how Jerusalem and the temple was the delight of the eyes of the people of Judah. And this was in connection with the rich young man. And the rich young man, what was the delight of his eyes? The delight of the eyes of the rich young man is money. Money was his delight. That's the thing he loved. He delighted in his money, as with the king of Tyre, delighted in his wealth that he got through all his work and everything, his skills. And the Lord prophesied, you will lose the delight of your eyes. The Lord has a delight for us that is far better than money. He has a gift that far outweighs all the gold in the world. The problem is that, and Jesus here is speaking to the rich, those who have lots of money. He's saying it's harder for a rich man to enter than a camel, harder for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven than a camel to pass through the eye of a needle. People have said, scripture scholars have said, well, the eye of the needle was a very narrow gate. But that means it's very difficult to get into. But what the Lord actually wanted to say, it's impossible. It's impossible for a rich man to get into heaven. Because the comparison between this massive animal, a camel, and this minute little hole that's very difficult to see, and trying to pass through that's impossible. And so when we are attached to money, when we're attached to stuff, when something else rather than God is the delight of our eyes, we will not be able. I mean, it's okay to delight in stuff. Delighting in stuff is fine. But when we delight in stuff, more in that than in God himself, when these things become more precious to us than God himself, then we can't enter into heaven. We can't enter into the presence of God because we have chosen another God. I love this reading. I said at the beginning, let's prepare ourselves for good things. I hadn't actually read the first text, and this opening prayer says, "O God, you've prepared for those who love you good things." The Lord has good things for you. What is the good thing that he has, that he desires to give you in abundance, more than all the treasure in the world? It's himself. It's himself. He wants to pour every human desire. Amen.